You know what happens when you pray for something and the answer you get isn't what you expected? Not some spirit, but something real and terrifying. That's what we're diving into today. It's this dark parable, really, about what belief even means. It's about two people searching for the abyss and what happens when a whispered wish literally collides with a walking nightmare.
So let's set the scene. Imagine this. The rain is just pouring down, splitting the world in two. And there, standing in the mud, is this lone woman. She's in the middle of a ritual. The text calls her a daughter of the moon, and she's out there actively looking for the shadow's embrace. I mean, it's such a powerful image, right? This fragile, almost delicate devotion trying to wrangle these raw, dark forces.
And this is where we meet our two main players. First, you've got the Daughter of the Moon, totally lost in her ceremony. And then there's the narrator, who's just watching her. And he represents something completely different, a heavy, anchored, solid reality. It's their encounter right here that kicks off the whole story.
So let's talk about her ritual. It's not coming from some dark, grim past, you know? It's all about fragile, aesthetic whims. She's whispering to the darkness as if it were a lover, not something to be commanded or feared. The narrator, he calls it a beautiful heresy. It's beautiful, sure, but it's also wrong, because she's just dipping her toes in. Her heart is still safely tethered to the light. She's just playing around the edges of something she doesn't understand.
But to our narrator, this whole beautiful ceremony, it's just a pale imitation, a copy. It's missing that heavy, demonic essence that he himself is made of. It's like he sees it as the difference between someone who's read about fire in a book and someone who's actually been burned to a crisp by it.
And for him, this isn't just some abstract opinion. No, this is his personal history, literally etched into his being. He talks about a third sloughing, a process he didn't choose but endured. You can just feel that this implies some incredibly painful, deep transformations that have shaped him. See the difference? Her ritual is a delicate choice she's making. His reality was a brutal crucible he was forced through.
Okay, so this really gets us to the heart of the conflict, right? You've got two completely different ways of seeing the void. For her, it's all metaphor and poetry. For him, the preacher, it's in his very marrow.
And this comparison just lays it all out perfectly. Look at her side. The void is poetry, a romantic dream you can whisper to. Then you look at the preacher's side. It's a physical weight, a hungry, indifferent master that does not care about you. For him, this isn't some dream. It's the crushing, fundamental truth of reality.
And here's the kicker, the big twist. She's out there in the pouring rain, chanting, drawing circles. She's trying to summon something dark and powerful. But she's so stuck in her own head about what that's supposed to look like, she completely misses the fact that it's standing right there, watching her the whole time. He is the very thing she was calling for.
All right, so now everything changes. The preacher is done just watching. He steps in, and he offers her his scorn. But it's not just to be mean, you know? It's a form of critique. He's there to completely tear down her romantic ideas, her little sacred circles, and what he calls her festive masks.
And how does he start? He summons a storm to announce his own Untergang, which is German for a downfall, a descent, a going under. This isn't just for show. The act itself is the lesson. The storm literally drowns out her incense, swapping her gentle little ritual with his raw elemental power. He's showing her, not telling her, this is what real power looks like.
And then he just lays it out for her, the real rules. A true ritual, it's not about herbs and moonlight. It needs something costly, something like righteous blood. This isn't a game. You have to reject the whole performance aspect. And the most important part? You have to embrace hardness, a total, absolute descent into a static iron truth. He's basically saying, you've been playing dress-up. This is the real price of admission.
So now the preacher shifts gears again. He's not just critiquing anymore. He's starting to inject his worldview directly into her mind, like a venom of wisdom. And its whole purpose is to shatter all those comfortable, cozy mysteries she's been holding on to.
You know what? It starts to work. She's finally, truly seeing him for the first time. She looks into his many eyes, and she doesn't see some fairy tale demon, no. She sees a worldly wisdom, this ancient practical knowledge that's so real, so fundamental. It doesn't need symbols or metaphors anymore. It just is.
And this quote, this is the core of his entire philosophy. The tarantula does not worship the dark, it inhabits the dark. Think about that.
He isn't some priest serving a dark god. He is the darkness, a part of its very fabric, spinning a web that catches absolutely everyone, saint and seeker alike. And here comes the warning. See, she thought she was just sending out this gentle little invitation. He makes it crystal clear that what she's actually doing is offering up a contract, a binding one. And it's not signed with pen and ink. It's signed in the soul's most secret and cruelest places. Suddenly, the stakes are way, way higher than she ever dreamed.
Okay, so here we are at the climax. The preacher, this walking nightmare that she herself summoned, he now makes an offer of his own. And believe me, it's not an invitation to dance with shadows. It's an invitation to a complete and utterly terrifying transformation.
So what exactly is this sloughing he's talking about? Well, it's way more than just shedding your skin. It's about casting off everything that is soft, pretty, and recognizably human about yourself. It's a total annihilation of the self, so you can become something new, something harder, something that actually belongs in the abyss.
This offer is brutally simple. Throw away your trinkets, he says, your herbs, your chalk circles, and follow the path my own feet have walked. A vademecum, by the way, is like a handbook or a guide. So he's basically telling her his entire existence, his journey. That's the only instruction manual for the abyss she'll ever need.
And in that one moment, everything clicks into place. The roles are set. She, the witch, finally gets it. He is the preacher she was trying to call. Not some vague spirit, not a metaphor, but the living, breathing embodiment of the absolute, unholy night she thought she wanted. Her prayer was answered. Literally.
And just like that, their one-on-one encounter is over, and something way, way bigger is starting. They're standing there, together on the edge of a city, and it's so clear that her invitation was accepted, but completely on his terms. A new, grander, and much darker design has just been set in motion.
And we really need to get this straight. Everything she did up to this point, the circles, the chants, all of it, that wasn't the main event, not even close. That was just the prologue, the opening act that set the stage for what's really about to happen.
The preacher's arrival, that is the main event. His showing up kicks off part one of a story that's so much bigger. We're talking about the magnificent and dark-anchored undoing of an entire city. See, he didn't accept her invitation to become her little helper. He accepted it so he could turn her into just another strand in his own massive, intricate web.
And this whole thing, it's not just about her personal journey anymore. That Untergang, that descent into darkness, it's a shared fate now. It's a dark age coming for everybody. And her little ritual in the mud, well, that was the key that just unlocked the door. And there's no going back. There's no delaying it now.
So that leaves us with this one final, lingering question. She got exactly what she prayed for, right? A real, tangible connection to the abyss. But when the darkness you've been calling to finally answers back, and it shows up in a form that's more real and more terrifying than you could have ever imagined, is that a blessing, or is it just the start of a curse you can never, ever escape?